It's time for Around the Ozarks in 5, brought to you by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Roto-Rooter Plumbing and Drain Service, Blue Current, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Hey, good morning to you on Monday. Hope your weekend was great. It is Ethan along with Diana Tyndall from Modern Day Marketing. Thanks for being here again, Diana.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Sarah is, I don't know, we need to play the game. Diana said before we started, we need to play the game. Where on earth
Where
is Sarah
in the
Forehead?
world is Sarah Foreheads?
She's traveling the globe. She's currently in Egypt.
Wow.
She's
Where
in
the
Egypt.
crocodiles.
She's in Cairo. She got in. She texted me last night at we were having pizza, and it was like 6:30 or 7, and she said it was 2 a.m. and she's going to bed. She just got to her hotel in Egypt.
Can I do a joke really quick?
Yeah, please.
Well, at least she's not in denial.
Not yet.
Oh, too early. Sorry.
Not yet.
Yeah, let's hope not.
But when I tell her we're gonna have to cut back on some trips, she may be.
Oh. Well, let's get to some news, Ethan.
Let's
right?
do some news. Yeah, we'll do some news. Boy, you know, it was a weekend of severe weather all across much of the country, including right here in the Ozarks. One of the biggest problems we had here was flash flooding because of all the rain. There were several water rescues over the weekend, including 4 kayakers pulled from the James River near Clever. Their kayaks flipped over in the fast-moving water, and the people in them had to be rescued. Then also in Webster County, a box truck got stuck in floodwater and became pinned to a tree. 3 people inside there had to be rescued. And then in Good Hope, Missouri, 2 women and a baby were pulled from a vehicle that was swept away in floodwater from a creek. They were in a van and they tried to cross a bridge, and the van stalled in the water. Passers-by saw this happen. They jumped in to help, as did sheriff's deputies from Douglas County. But the van was swept off the bridge and then traveled downstream, which how frightening would that be?
Oh, my word.
Then a boat. So it got lodged. A boat from Douglas County Conservation Agency was brought in and was able to get the women and the baby out safely. So fortunately there, very scary situation. You can't imagine what's going through their minds as they were going through this ordeal. But fortunately, no one was hurt.
Wow. Well, perfect timing for like such good citizens to stop by, but a good reminder, turn around, don't drown, like turn around. And
that's right.
Yeah. I probably drove through some stuff I shouldn't have, and all those things, but yeah, in other parts of the country, the problem was high winds and tornadoes. In Oklahoma, unfortunately, 4 people lost their lives in tornadoes. They damaged houses and other buildings and knocked down trees and power lines. Springfield-based Convoy of Hope is responding with essential relief supplies for survivors of the storm. Convoy has a team on the ground in Nebraska and Iowa, where tornadoes damaged dozens of houses outside of Omaha and alongside the state line between Nebraska and Iowa. Obviously, you can follow Convoy of Hope and their response to the storms on Instagram and Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and X. So,
yeah, it was a busy weekend. I was doing while I was down at a swim meet for my girls in Fayetteville, Arkansas. I was on the computer doing work and talking about where we're going and alerting media, all those sorts of things.
Wow, never a dull moment in the Foreheads house for sure.
That's true. That is true.
Well, Springfield Victims Memorial Garden has 8 commemorative bricks, new ones, that is, honoring victims of crime. Bricklaying ceremony was held as part of the National Crime Victims' Rights Week. The Victims Memorial Garden is located inside of Phelps Grove Park, and it was created back in 1991 to honor victims of crimes and create a place where their families can visit to find comfort with others who have experienced similar losses. So
that's always a very moving ceremony when they have it out there every year. We've covered it in the news several times, and it's just you see a lot of the same families that are out there every year, and from some of the bigger name crimes that you've heard of around the Ozarks. So it's neat that they have kind of a group that they can get together and counsel each other, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, Greene County, they're giving out more money, COVID money, that is, from the federal government. Just gave grants to 31 small businesses totaling $336,000. It's the largest single dollar amount. The largest single dollar amount, that is, was $28,000 to M Park. The grants come from the federal government and were intended to help small businesses deal and recover from the COVID lockdowns. So
it's crazy
on that list. Yeah.
And it's so weird that we're still giving it out. We're so far removed now. I mean, if your business is still in business, I think you made it, but they'll take the money. I get that. Could have used it a while ago. Kansas City Chiefs and Royals are still smarting after a tax to pay for stadium improvements failed last month, as you know. The two professional teams were together on that tax issue, but now they're going to try to go their separate ways and get the funding individually. The Royals are trying to build a brand new $2 billion stadium. They were planning to spend $1 billion on their own and then use tax income for the rest. The Chiefs were planning to spend $300 million of their money as they're part of an $800 million renovation of Arrowhead. They say they will now consider leaving Arrowhead Stadium, which I think is getting the attention of some Chiefs fans. There's talk that they could move over to the line to Kansas, who would be more than welcoming with some of the tax things that they've got lined up. I don't know. We'll see. But I think taxpayers, it's just a lot of money.
That's quite a bit of money to think about what you could do, right? Versus improvements. And you're like, come on.
Well, and if you go to games, it's hundreds of dollars, maybe $1,000, depending on how many people you take to the game. You have to pay to park. It's so expensive. And then
$10 for a beer.
Taxed on top of it. I can understand how the folks there would say, hey, you guys seem to be making pretty good money. You're paying your players very, very well. Maybe you could handle it. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see what
Sticking
happens.
with football, the NFL draft happened over the weekend, and this is crazy. 275,000 fans showed up for one day to watch the draft in Detroit.
Wow.
I mean, it's huge, this draft thing. It's huge.
That's a lot of love.
That's a record for a one-day attendance for the draft. 275,000 people. Well, anyway, at the draft is where the commissioner of football delivered a few nuggets about possible changes coming to the game. He wants to get rid of some preseason games and move to an 18-game regular season. Doing so would move the Super Bowl to President's Day weekend, giving people, a lot of people, the day off after the Super Bowl, which there's been a petition before to have make it a holiday the day after the Super Bowl. Well, this would kind of fix that because a lot of people have President's Day off. Not everybody, but a lot of people. So he says right now they're just ideas, but that's what Goodell would like to see, the commissioner.
Well, not a bad idea. I mean, if you're an employer, you can probably guess that most people are not going to be showing, I'm not feeling so good, boss.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. We know why. We all know why. Well, our economy is not doing that great, but you probably already knew that. The U.S. gross domestic product grew at a much slower rate than what was expected. It grew only at 1.6% during the first quarter, and analysts predicted a rate of 2.5%. So that means the U.S. economy grew at its slowest pace in nearly 2 years as inflation continues to hurt American families. Yeah. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, everybody is.
Teenage boys trying to feed
expensive. Them. Well, just go like this weekend. We were out to eat for every meal because we were in a different town. And man, one place, the four of us for lunch.
Oh, let me guess. $70.
$60.
Oh my goodness.
$60. Yeah, for four people to have lunch.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Man.
And that's probably without
we had water,
right?
We had water. We drank water.
And that doesn't include the tip, or it does?
This was at a place you didn't even have to tip because you order at the thing.
Wow.
$60.
That's a lot. That's ridiculous. Yeah. Well, speaking of tipping,
Yeah.
Domino's Pizza is incentivizing tips for drivers. Get this.
Yeah.
Starting today, Domino's will give a $3 tip to customers who tip their delivery drivers. Isn't that cool? The $3 tip will be available on their next order. Domino's says these days, everywhere you go, there's a tip screen. So the pressure to tip is real, even when no extra service is provided. So we decided to flip the script and show our appreciation by tipping customers back. And that's kind of weird, but cool.
I think it's a really neat idea. I think it's a really neat idea. It's a smart move on Domino's part because it puts them in our boat with, we're like, enough tip screens. I had 1 million of those this weekend. And they're right. Sometimes it's it's nothing above and beyond. Nothing extra. It's just handing me a coffee through a drive-through window. Which actually happened. But this is the drivers getting out. They're walking to your car. I feel like drivers deserve a tip.
Well, I don't know how that's going to work from a financial status. Like if you, maybe it's just a break even. Like you turn around and tip, but then the deliver. So they're losing money on it. But maybe again, it's an incentive that you're going to order there than going to the competition. Who knows?
Well, it's PR, I think as you know, that they're getting good PR from this, from being on our side of the tip situation. Yeah.
It's like a $3 coupon.
Right. Domino's is on the customer side. So they're going to lose some money in the short term, but they're endearing themselves to us. We had Domino's last night.
Hey, there you go. And you know what? They're going to tip you.
We got 3 large Yes, exactly right. I go pick it up though because I like it right out of the oven.
Yeah, same.
I went and picked it up. But last night there was a deal for larges. I think $6.99 for 2 topping larges.
Carry out. Oh yeah, we do that.
Yeah, carry out. We got 3 larges for less than we got 1 pizza the day before in Bentonville. Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And the kids like the pizza at Domino's better. So Domino's it is.
I feel your world. The kids are dictating where we eat and what we don't eat, and
that's right.
All the food. Yeah.
That's right. All right. Well, hey, we got Mother's Day's coming up. As you know, we have a Mother's Day giveaway that we want you to know about. We want you to enter so that you can win something for your mom. We're giving away, let's see, a $150 gift card for a flower arrangement from our friends over at the Flower Merchant. They do great work over there.
They do.
And a $50 gift card to Civil Kitchen. So you can have a nice meal at the Civil Kitchen.
Yes. So good.
That's a good combo, isn't it?
It's a great restaurant. Oh my goodness. You can get their French dip.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Their chicken and fried chicken and waffles.
Yeah.
So good.
It's a good place. So go to aroundtheozarks.com. You can also enter on the Around the Ozarks app for your smartphone. If you don't have that, I suggest you get it because the podcasts are on there as well. We make it easy for you. But again, enter into the Mother's Day giveaway 2024 gift card for a $150 flower arrangement from the Flower Merchant and then a $50 gift card to Civil Kitchen. And good luck. Best of luck to all the moms out there and all the kids who don't want to have to spend their own money to get mom something. This is the way to do it, right?
Yeah. And if you don't win, they're both locally owned businesses. So go support and shop local because that's everybody can use small business support. I can tell you that.
You bet. And they're kind enough to sponsor us here. You can see there are other sponsors running at the bottom of your screen, the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Roto-Rooter, Blue Current, and Thompson Sales. Those are all great small businesses that are local and do good work. So we thank them for sponsoring the podcast. Yeah. All right. You're going to be with me the rest of the week, Diana?
I am. Here.
Okay. I look forward to it. Thank you for filling in when Sarah's gone. It's like almost a full-time job, isn't it?
Some days it is. You do a great job, though.
Okay. Well, have a great Monday, everybody. We'll see you back here on Tuesday.
All right.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Scooters Coffee and Rescue Towing. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, April 29th, and we are waking up with temperatures in the upper 50s as of 5 a.m., and I am watching a cold front push through the region right about now for the Springfield metro area. Cold front coming through, and that's actually great news for us because what it's doing is taking all that moisture, humidity, high dew point from the weekend, and all the storm chances, and it's clearing it out of here. We are going to see a much nicer day across the Ozarks. We need a dry day. I know many of you probably waking up a little bit tired today after some of the active severe weather that we had around late last night in the Ozarks. Some signs of tornado damage in a few areas across the Ozarks. So the National Weather Service will be out in a couple of spots today surveying for any damage reports. We did have some radar indicated activity of tornadic activity late last night, just after 9 p.m. or just before 9 p.m. for the Clever area. And then, of course, the tornado warning that many of you were alerted to just after 9 p.m. for the Springfield metro area, portions of Greene County, and portions of Webster County too. So likely there will be a couple of survey crews out today checking out any spots. And if you have any damage reports, make sure you relay those to the National Weather Service so they can get crews out to check it out in some of those spots that were a bit in question with some of the strong storms last night. Thankfully, I haven't heard of damage that's been too bad in many areas across the region. And what we have today is a much nicer day. So if you have some limbs down, the yard to clean up, something like that, today will provide a nice afternoon to get out and do so. We are waking up with temperatures in the upper 50s as of 5 o'clock, as I mentioned, but we'll see numbers warm up in a big way today. I have 75 degrees for the high temperature in Springfield. It's going to be a sunny day, and we are now watching those north winds kick in on the backside of this cold front. The wind's not too strong today, 5 to 10 miles an hour. I'm expecting it to be a very pleasant afternoon to get outdoors, and we need the dry time. There's still a little bit of residual flooding from all the rounds of rain that came through the Ozarks over the last couple of days. And some of that water is going to get soaked up today. That's really the process that we need to see. Grass is growing like crazy in many places too. Today, though, promises to be a drier day in the forecast. But overall, this week still looks like a fairly active pattern. Not just for us here in the Ozarks, but across much of the country. There's this big trough that's going to be driving a couple of storm systems across the center part of the country this week. And it's the south that's seeing the strong to severe storm chances today. This is going to be down in the far southern portion of Louisiana, back through portions of southern Mississippi. We've got widespread rainfall for the Ohio River Valley today. That's going to be marching off to the East Coast as we head closer to midweek. We start the week with a couple of dry days here in the Ozarks, and then I've got rain and storm chances pushing back in here as early as Wednesday night, and then it looks unsettled as we move toward Thursday and Friday as well. High temperatures on Tuesday, we could be back to the 80s in spots. So we warm up in a hurry. We do have a couple of dry days to enjoy. If you want outdoor activities, I would say plan them for today and tomorrow because the unsettled weather returns for us as we head closer to the middle of the week. I think the second half of the work week, we could see some rain and storms. As far as severe weather is concerned, I don't see any big signal for strong to severe storms, thankfully, but I know many of you do not need more rain this week, and that's what we'll be watching, especially some of our northern counties that got 4 or 5 inches of rain over the last 5 days. You're not wanting any more, and the rain and storms that arrive for late in the week could provide some flooding chances, so I'll keep a close eye on that. Overall, what we're talking about, though, is a warming trend for much of the country. In fact, the next 6 to 10-day temperature outlook, this promises temperatures to likely be above average for this time of the year, and I think we see that here in the Ozarks. Today looks like a lovely afternoon. I have about 75 degrees for the Springfield metro area. Some folks seeing as warm as 78, 79 degrees for the afternoon highs, and we will become mostly sunny through the course of the day today. Clear sky in the forecast tonight, nowhere near the freezing point with lows at about 52 for Tuesday morning. On Tuesday afternoon, we're in the mid-80s. I mean, it's almost feeling like summertime by the time we get to Tuesday. We're still in the mid-80s for Wednesday. And then that rain and storm chance returns for us as we head into Wednesday night. And I've got scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast on Thursday too. Despite the unsettled pattern for the second half of the week, it still looks like it's going to be a warm week with 80s starting on Tuesday, lasting through Wednesday and Thursday of this work week's forecast. So warm, but stormy. Oftentimes that's what we see as we head, make that transition from late spring into the summertime months. You see those warm days with active weather, doesn't rain all day long, but where it does rain, you could get some very heavy downpours. Around the country, other things making headlines in the weather department include this high elevation snowfall that's forecast to spread inland from the Pacific Northwest into the Northern Rockies. That's what's happening through the course of the afternoon today. We've also got warmer than average temperatures in the forecast for most of the Midwest. This is going to extend all the way to the Mid-Atlantic, and then more active and unsettled weather is in the forecast for the middle part of the country. I think that's going to really take place as we head closer to some of the southern states and into the Tennessee Valley. That happens later today and then pushes even further to the southeast as we move into Tuesday. All right, it is time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister question for the day. This is the question that I left you with late last week, and many of you may have guessed this one correctly, so congrats if you did. Here it was. When did the United States flag get its 50th star? The options that I gave you were A, July 4th, 1776, B, April 6th, 1865, C, July 4th, 1960, or April 26th, 1960. The correct answer here, if you chose C, July 4th, 1960, you would be correct. The 50th star is added a year after Hawaii became the 50th state on the Stars and Stripes Forever. So congrats. If C was your guess, you're now entered to win a $20 gift card to Scooters Coffee. Thank you so much, Scooters. And I know many of us need an extra cup of coffee after some of those late night thunderstorms rolled through the Ozarks late last night. Here's the question that I'll leave you with for early tomorrow morning. Do you know this record? What is the Guinness World Record for the longest board game marathon? How long do you think board games could be played? Here are your options. A, 80 hours. B, 24 hours. C, 300 hours. Or D, 64 hours. No Googling. That takes all of the fun out of it. But if you want to submit your guess over at aroundtheozarks.com, I welcome you to do so. The prize is pretty awesome. $20 to Scooters Coffee. All correct answered, entered, and we draw one winner every single day. So start off the work week right. You can enter that contest over at aroundtheozarks.com. While you're there, by the way, we are running a super fun contest for Mother's Day. You can head on over to the website, click on contest, and you're going to find this Mother's Day giveaway. You can win a beautiful bouquet of flowers from the flower merchant and a gift card for dinner for mom to Civil Kitchen. Free to enter, aroundtheozarks.com. That's where you find both the Brain Twister question and our Mother's Day giveaway. Thank you so much for listening early this morning. I hope you have a fantastic start to the week. It's going to be a beautiful day. Enjoy the sun, high temperature in the mid 70s, low relative humidity, and it's a dry day in the Ozarks. So at least we have some nice weather to start out the new work week. I will chat with you again early tomorrow morning.